Welcome back to the TDJShow. Today it is Tanner, and I am talking about the college football playoff. Now, in less than a little while, that is, by the time I'm recording this, is at 11:17 at noon. Noon, probably 12:10. We'll find out who is in the college football playoff. Now, yesterday was championship Saturday, so I'm going to review the most important games that pertain to the college football playoff and who do I think gets in. So we'll start off with the Big Ten championship, Ohio State versus Northwestern. Ohio State won 22-10. So Justin Fields had a rough day in the office. He went 12 of 27, 114 yards, and had 2 interceptions. But what really carried the Buckeyes was Trey Sermon with 29 carries, 331 yards, a record in Ohio State rushing record, and a Big Ten championship record on the same day. Good for him. And he had 2 touchdowns as well. The score was 22-10, but as far distance Ohio State made it look like, this really didn't happen until the fourth quarter. This game didn't really break away until the fourth quarter. This game was close. Northwestern was leading the first, second quarter, in the third, and then Ohio State ended up eventually getting the lead and took over. So now Ohio State is 6-0, and in the playoff rankings, they are the 4th-ranked team in the country at the moment. But based on playing 6 games compared to an Texas A&M team that's 8-1 and is the 5th-ranked team, even though there's that one loss, I just don't think you just. It seems biased because it's always the same 4 every year. It's always Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame. But if they get in, it seems like it's being very, very biased to the system because it's like we've seen this over and over again. Are these the best 4 teams in the country? Yes, but Ohio State getting in at 6-0 is like, yeah, we just think we're just gonna keep it the same this year. Even though if the playoff committee, who has done the rankings since November, thinks Ohio State's the 4th best team in the country, good for them if they think that good. But based on resume, they've only had two tough opponents, and they've barely escaped those games. Even though Western, my bad, they beat them by 12 points, and it looks bad, but that really didn't happen until the fourth quarter, like I stated. So I will get to that. Now we're going to move on to the ACC championship game, where it wasn't even close. 34-10. Clemson, 6 straight years, has been on top of the ACC, and that's just the way it is. Trevor Lawrence, 25 of 36, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Travis Etienne, who in the first game did not look good, did not rush well. Notre Dame stuffed out that rush so well, he got nothing going. So, Etienne had 10 carries for 124 yards and a touchdown. He looked better. Now, keep in mind that when Clemson went into that game in South Bend, they were not healthy one bit. Not one bit they were healthy. And that was the difference maker. So it's like, all right, Clemson's back. They're healthy. They go against Notre Dame, and this was basically the way it was a few years ago in the college football playoff, the Cotton Bowl, where Clemson just smacked Notre Dame 30-3. That's what it was. And that was basically what this game is. Now, everybody wanted it to be close because they had the best game of the year, in South Bend. But it's like Lawrence, everybody else, they're healthy. They come in and literally smack Notre Dame, which I was like, well, if Clemson's going to win this, I either saw this 2 ways. It was going to be a close game, or Clemson was going to blow them out. One of those 2. And the one I wanted to happen, the blowout, because Clemson needed a proving game, and they proved themselves by beating the 2nd-ranked team in the nation, who was healthy, keep in mind, still had all the weapons on the offense, still had all the good defensive players, and got decimated Like, literally, it wasn't even close. Like, the last touchdown at the end of the first half, I was like, game. I'm calling it here. Game. It is over. And Notre Dame just had no answer. This defense was looking so good, too. There was no answer for them. And at the end of the day, when it mattered most, a healthy Clemson team, in my eyes, is the best team in the nation, even though they're ranked at 3. I believe they deserve to be a number 1. Now, Ian Book, on the other hand, for Notre Dame, went 20 of 28, had 219 yards. I mean, he was passing well, just there wasn't anything going on the offense, and it just wasn't looking good. I think, based on what Clemson has done, I think they deserve to be the number 1 ranked team in the nation. And I will get to my who's in and who's out of mine. So we'll talk about Texas A&M, a team that's been on the fringe and a team that's kind of been at the headline because of the fact that they're 8-1. Ohio State is 6-0. They've played 6 games. A&M's played 9. Yeah, they've got canceled, but it seems like, all right, 9 games, 6. It's like, who deserves it more? The team that's played 9 games over here, yet has 1 loss. They lost to Bama, has this 1 loss, but is working. But we're going to let a team, probably the 4th ranked team, probably they'll stay 4. Are we just going to let Ohio State, 6 games, you're good? Is that going to be the case for everybody now? All they have to do is go 6-0 and they're in? Here's the thing. I understand we're in a pandemic, and I understand stuff stinks, but the Big Ten was late. They canceled it, thought everybody else was going to follow, and did not. Here's the thing. They were late. They ended up playing. I don't think Ohio State deserves to be in this. Because you just played 6 games. Did you win them all? Yeah. You won 1 by 1 touchdown, and that was against Indiana, who had a breakout year. But any other year in college football, Indiana sucks. No offense. Indiana has not been good in recent years. But your only competition is to a team that's breaking out this year. Northwestern was competition for 3 quarters. And it takes you to 4th quarter to put them away. You can't do that. Fields had a slow start, a bad start, that is for sure. But you can't do that. I'll get the A&M, but Kellen Mond in the game against Tennessee, a 34-13 win. He went 26 of 32 for 281 yards. Had a touchdown, but also had a pick. So I will get to that. All right, we'll talk about one of the probably most exciting game, I'd say. And Oklahoma and Iowa State was exciting as well. Alabama and Florida. Bama won by 6 points, and I think Bama will drop because of the 6 points. So Mac Jones went 33 of 43, had 418 yards, had 5 touchdowns, did have a pick, but at the end, that pick really didn't matter because of the fact that the defensive back for Florida, he got demolished. He almost died. And it was a fumble recovered by Bama. So it really didn't matter. The pick really doesn't matter because it wasn't a factor in the game, except for Bama getting the ball back. Najee Harris had 31 carries for 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 5 receptions for 67 yards and had 3 touchdowns receiving. That man had 5 touchdowns on the day. SEC championship record. Good for him. He was looking great. Kyle Trask, on the other hand, 26 of 40, 408 yards and 3 touchdowns.